Take it or leave it, every major brand will seemingly set a wager with a smartwatch of its own. Sony is one of the pioneers here, with the live view screen text way back in 2010, then the slim and stylish smartwatch, and now we're getting the second edition. This is Daniel from Phone Arena presenting you the Sony SmartWatch 2. Actually, as all such products so far, it is not overly smart, just a wrist wearable that you can use as a small second screen. It's paired with the Android phone in your pocket. Designed to alert you on calls, emails and messages, it allows you to quickly and discreetly check on them, to control your music player from the watch, for example, as well. But is this an enticing enough proposition to spend $200 on against formidable competitors like the Galaxy Gear or the oldie but goodie Pebble? Let's find out. Sony's SmartWatch 2 is this squarish aluminum thingy. It can come either in black or with a stainless steel faceplate here. We have the chrome rims and this signature omnibalance design power lock key here on the right, which reminds you of each and every Xperia phone lately. So it will look really good with your Xperia Android in your pocket. It is pretty light, 122 grams with the silicone strap here, which comes in 5 different colors, including pink. But that's for the active version of the Sony SmartWatch 2. You can actually get the watch with leather straps in black and beige as well. Overall, it's fairly comfortable to wear. You can also wash dishes with it because it is water resistant and it is powered by 200 MHz processor, which makes it somewhat slow, but not that bad. The screen itself, it's low resolution, but since you have 1.6-inch diagonal, it is also not that evident. Outdoor visibility is pretty good because we have a transflective LCD display, but tilt the watch a little bit and you see that it has pretty bad viewing angles. But we didn't notice any problems with day-to-day usage of this display. As you can see, it dims pretty quickly and you can't set the dimmer, so you just have to live with that. The screen is getting a bit wobbly with just a couple of days of usage, so we don't know how it will fare with more prolonged use. On the left, we have the micro USB port here covered with the protective flap, which is only used for charging. Everything in terms of syncing is done via Bluetooth, or in the case of the SmartWatch 2 from Sony with NFC, you have to tap the phone to the back, the watch to the back of your phone, and it will pair immediately if your phone has NFC connectivity. Alternatively, you can just use Bluetooth. Let's have a look at the interface now. We had a lot of trouble setting the SmartWatch 2 initially. Word to the wise, first, if your phone has NFC, just tap the watch on it and it will pair up immediately. Otherwise, if you're using Bluetooth, it will be glitchy, the phone might restart, but eventually you'll get it working if you first tap on settings here on the phone, Bluetooth, and make the watch visible for pairing first, and then you do what you're gonna do on your phone. If you don't do that, there's a big possibility that the phone won't recognize it. It will freeze, restart in our case. So with the LG Optimus G Pro, even Xperia's didn't recognize it. But overall, we managed to get it working in about an hour or so. The interface is pretty basic, just app icons on these screens, reminiscent of an Android app drawer. Actually, there's this notification bar here, which shows the latest messages notifications you're getting. So each time you can get to the previous one without having to go into each individual app. After you pair the phone with the watch, it actually becomes very, very usable. You can dial a number from it. Of course, it very often doesn't work like it's supposed to. If you have a Bluetooth headset, you can also answer a call with the watch. You can dial from your call log back from the watch, and the call will be routed through the Bluetooth headset in your ear. And of course, the biggest strength of the watch here is the ability to download third-party apps. You have your notification center here, which shows each and every message you've received, you haven't read yet. You have Gmail, Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, you have a calendar reminder. Without the phone, basically the watch only shows the time. You can set alarms and you can read your already synced messages, and that's about it. You can use it as a torch, but since the screen is not very powerful to begin with, it's not very helpful. You can choose a couple of watch faces, analog clocks, and a digital one, which is here by default. There's a home screen button, context menu key that arranges the apps in alphabetical order, and so on and so forth. You have about 110 applications right now for the smartwatch, but Sony is promising up to 400. You can actually read the all message, unlike some other smartwatches. Even WhatsApp, you can read the full message, not only see the sender and the group, but the apps range from simple dialers, alternative dialers, to like weather widgets. You also have GPS maps with open maps, which doesn't work as it should in our case. That's why we're telling you this thing is a bit glitchy and is crying for the first firmware update. On the phone side of things, the watch is managed by this SmartWatch 2 application that gets downloaded the second you sync the phone with the watch the first time you pair it. And here you have the installed applications already: call handling, Facebook, Gmail, calendar reminder, messaging, missed calls, and recommended applications. You can also search for additional ones at the Play Store. Just choose your category, lifestyle for example, and you can start searching the Play Store for SmartWatch 2 tailored apps. As you can see, there are quite a lot of them. Not all of them work the way they're supposed to, but some of them are pretty handy, especially the excellent WhatsApp. So overall, we gotta say that the SmartWatch 2 is a pretty svelte idea. It quickly becomes second nature to just glance at the notifications on your wrist. And of course, you can expand the functionality a lot with alternative dialers, things like that. The battery holds up pretty well, about 2 or 3 days with above average usage. If you don't use it very often, you just glance at notifications and read them, it will probably survive a week with 2 charges. So in that regard, the SmartWatch 2 is pretty good as well. Sony is improving on its smartwatches in increments, treading the water lightly to gauge whether this nascent market will really take off, and it shows in the specs and price of the SmartWatch 2. It is a very well built device, somewhat slow and glitchy however, with comparatively poor and low-res display. On the other hand, it brings a decent battery life, simplified interface, water resistance, and perhaps its biggest advantage is the potential for hundreds of third-party apps that will inevitably add more functionality to this here basic setup. Direct competitors are the Samsung Galaxy Gear, which sports more functions like speakers, microphone, and a camera, but it has a more cumbersome interface than the one here. It has a shorter battery life. It is only compatible with certain Galaxy phones, and it's $100 more to boot than the $200 SmartWatch 2 here. The other alternative is the good old Pebble smartwatch, which has the longest battery life of them all. It's cheap, fast, with good display to read outdoors, but it might be overly simplistic for today's smart wearable standards, and the screen is not a color one. A stealth competitor is also Qualcomm stock, which sports a reflective mirror-saw display that should do wonders for battery life. It lets you answer messages with short predetermined responses, sports extra apps like stock tickers and the like, but it is a proof of concept kind of gear for Qualcomm, meant to be produced in the tens rather than the hundreds of thousands, and is slated to cost the same as the Galaxy Gear. For now, Sony SmartWatch 2, despite all of its bugs and glitches until we set it up, is a very decent entrance to the world of brainy wearables, and glancing on notifications there instead of reaching for your phone quickly becomes a second nature. This was a video review of the Sony SmartWatch 2 from Phone Arena. For more information about this and other accessories, you can visit us at phonearena.com. Thanks for watching.